Greetings, I'm Sir Vainglory and welcome back to Season 3 of Workers and Resources Soviet Republic. This is part 64 and starting off at the junction that I've just created, which hopefully is going to work out okay. So we've got a roundabout slightly downhill, slightly sunken. The main road rises slightly, a reasonably gradual slope to pass over there. Something I was just thinking about though was I could do with a pass-through road here to avoid the roundabout. It might not be used all that much, but I think it's probably worth doing. Let's see if you come off and remove snapping. Some other infrastructure's in the way, really. Right, okay, let's try. Can we get a slight road out here? We can. Let's do that. It's going to come off at that sort of angle. I don't think so. There we go. That's what I'm after. And then do that. Okay, nice straight road along here. And hopefully you can join in there at a better angle than that. I'll try the same out here, so let's see if we come to about there. Yeah, that will do nicely. Okay. Yeah, so that's that done. I had to remove the construction office that we had sat here to get the roads in properly. So, and also it's not ideal to have it. This is going to be a one-way road, so we don't really want the construction office coming off a one-way. What we'll do instead, just put another road in from the roundabout. Probably will be okay. Let's pull you off there. If you can actually just go off straight in that direction, that would be fine. And then replace the construction office. I was going with a huge one, I think. Ground's all flat around here anyway. Let's put you up here. Don't need you right next to the road. Something like that would be fine. Okay. And we're probably going to have more construction offices up here. Still need to put in our storage. So, no, do I? No, we're going to pick up from over there. But that reminds me of the other thing that I'm going to need over here that I missed out was we're going to have to import bitumen at least. So we'll need what I'm looking for, liquids. Oil and fuel unloading. Probably just a small one would be fine. I did like the idea of having a single train coming out, but yeah, it doesn't work that way. So for example, I can't have a train that unloads coal and like wood or steel at the same time, for example. So I think I can fit this in somewhere around here. Let's try that. I might need to relay, in fact I need to relay this partly anyway, because I've realised we're probably going to export from here as well when we start making bricks and timber and stuff. Export it along in that direction, so we'll need... Yeah, I'm going to have to rework quite a bit of this. I'm going to use this side here, this left hand side, is going to export in that direction. So in that case, let's just remove this for now. And I need to release some of this. Let's bring it right from there. What else are we bringing in? This will be coal, that's electronics, etc. I'm not going to make electronics and mechanical components out here. Won't be exporting coal from here either, so it's just this one. Actually, that as well might need, because we're going to have a large oil facility out there. Let's pause just now. Yeah, so this probably is going to have to be able to get onto the tracks over here. Okay. I don't like cutting across tracks, but I don't know that I've got any real option to get you in. Heading in that direction. Yeah, okay. Probably want you to come out straight for now. If you can cross over there, and then swing around. Yeah, and you would be on that side as well. Let's change the angle so that I can see what the curve looks like. Yeah, don't like that at all, but we'll have to live with it. And put snapping back on. I mean, I could just have a single track there. Don't want that. Yeah, let's try it. Let's get rid of that. Because what I'm thinking is, if we were to pull up from there, obviously. Let's bring you up and try from this direction. Can we get you in at all? Guess not there. So you would go in at that point. For whatever reason, let's take snapping off. Does that help at all? Yeah. Right. I'm going to start the junction here. Not good. How about from, not a road, how about from here? That's fine. Okay, that works. And then up here, need space for a signal. And you cross to there. I've got a siding there for trains on the way in. And then over here, I mean, there should only ever be one train at a time, so we don't really need two tracks for this. Okay, what I'm going to do then, actually, just reinstate that. can come off like so. Might need to zoom in a bit. I don't want that at all. Right, okay. From there, let's put snap back on. You work. Okay. No, but the whole thing, the reason I get rid of that in the first place was because I would want this to actually join in there somewhere before we bring off that line there. Okay, you come back. Let's get rid of the node there, the waypoint. I can get you in up there. We've started to pull off to the left here already, so let's get rid of that whole thing. If we just run you straight, we could bring it in like that. That would be reasonable. And then again, space for the signal. Is that going to work, or do I need to? Yeah, I need to probably delete part, put snapping back on. No, it's still not working there. That works fine. Okay, and then we need a track coming off like that. I don't like the way it was coming off there. And that does allow, potentially, well, there might actually be two trains coming out there after all. Now that I think about it, if we could have one coming from each direction. Right. Ben, this is such a long way in the future before we get any of this sort of thing done. How am I going to busy myself while we're waiting for the rail to be constructed? If I missed anything, like you come out, you've got a siding, you go over there, you can get onto the incoming track, you're heading out. I can always add another track in there if I did want to have a siding, or even just there's another connection there, isn't there? Yeah. So I could have a second track if I wanted it, but I don't think I do. Okay, let's check out this fire, just in case it's somewhere important, but that's reasonably important. It's a small shopping centre. Fire trucks are on their way from here. Right, let's get moving again. What else am I doing? I can't actually remember. Still got this hellish problem with waste. 250. We'll only get 300 tons here. I wonder if it's worth taking one more of these. One of the smaller ones, maybe. Where are you? You're down here anyway, so yeah, it's a nonsense you going up to the border. Let's have you dump your mixed waste there. hopefully we'll be able to cope with that and just take enough off the border border office, customs office. Okay, that seems to be fine. I'm going to have, well, we need to get the bitumen from here. That's fuel, that's bitumen. So we'll need this constructed before we can do that, but we need to get the rest of the rail constructed through the mountain, get the tunnel made. And maybe I should have gone ahead and built a bigger rail construction office. But I didn't, so there's no point effing and butting. Ah! I'd forgotten about the road connection. No, that's not a road. No, there is a road connection in there, it's just not been asphalted. Let's do that then. I thought I'd screwed up there. I'm going to have to move the pipes, but no, we're good. So get that road section done and then we'll get to work on the loading and unloading facility there. How's the tourists getting on? We've got 113 there, 146 there. We've got food, alcohol, cold meat all as well. Let's have a look at income then from tourism. And what we in March? Let's look at all time. 3.7 million spending in hotels, another million in shops and restaurants. Not bad. Yeah, okay. I think that was worth doing after all. Right, let's check out here what's going on with our trains. Where's our construction train? I don't like that. Why are you back there? Oh, you're just on your way out. Okay, that's fair enough. Right, and how about the roads? Ready to extend any further? You're done. We could gravel up this section then. In fact, why don't we gravel up both sections? And I'm going to assign all construction offices. That's not all. I do, hang on. Wrong. There we go, that's all of them. And if I put in a connector there, I can do that. We'll just leave. Oh, you actually need more construction offices, but we'll just have group 4 work there. What? Why do we have electricity problems up here? We've only got 12 workers. Are workers on their way in? Yeah, it looks like we had just run out of workers there. Alright, let's go to faster speed. We're just in March. Plenty of crops up there still. Oh, we've got this needs assigned. Group 1 can do that. And I think oh yeah, I didn't put in my gas station, so we need to get that done as well. I was waiting for the roads to be asphalted, so refueling gas station, I was going to go with one way. 4 stations, I think. Yes. I'd like to get as long an entrance road as I can. Let's put you there. Head out. Okay, that'll do. Get that asphalted up too, please. Where now? Is it you again? Nope. This is where we're getting the electricity problems though. Building properties. I'm not exporting anything, am I? No. It was just the overcapacity there, like. Right, so yes, I will eventually asphalt up the rest of this road, but that needs to be done in segments. Okay, hang on. What's your story? We've got no diesel. No. Why have you got no fuel? Do I need a pump? But it's been working since I installed it. You don't pick up fuel from here. Where are the other trains? I've not travelled that far, I suppose, so... Well, has this one travelled further? Yeah. That's looking a bit better. Damn it, do I need to put a pump in there? Can I fit a pump in there? Pipe work's a bit broken, but that's just an artifact, I think. Let's cancel the pipe connection. No, that's just the way it looks. Underground pumping station, can I fit one of you in? No. And that's an overpass, that's over. These are not pumping stations, I don't know what you're talking about. Screwed. Surely we don't need a... Well, how does the fluid get out? Especially when it has to travel up into the entrance point up there, I suppose. Yeah, you've not fueled up. Of course you've not, because there's no connection. This is going to have to be destroyed then. Pain in the backside. And... I'm going to go for the underground pumping station. And you do get power from there, that's fine. We could just stick you somewhere in there. Hopefully that would work. Okay, Not what I was wanting to do, but I suppose it's not that big a problem. It's not as if it's going to cause us major hold-ups in anything that we do. That one is maybe better. No. There we are, that's what I was after. Let's get rid of that section of road that wouldn't let me demolish it before. So this one, potentially could sit in there, roughly. Let's try that. The road works fine. But pipe, where's the pipe output? Oh, it's got to be an underground pipe. So that's not going to work. What a pain. If I pulled it a bit further back, and say if it was about here. Just thinking about where the storage tank would be situated. You can't come up here. You can to there. Try that then. And pump from there. No, still not playing the game. It's not giving me any indication whether that's distance. Okay, cancel that connection. Let's get the underground pipe and bring it up as quickly as we can. Which is there. No. That's too close, just. Fine. Right. Demolish that and that. Try it again. If we put you down here. We've got some sort of a pipeline in the way, I think. I suppose what we could do then is say we have you in here somewhere. No, we've got that pipe, it's a problem. I suppose this is an underground piping station. And what's green there? Still don't think that's going to work. Give it a try. We won't die. I'll bring you up. Yep, so I'm going to try that. And do connect now. Right, okay. Part 1 complete. Road connects in there. And now we need storage. Do need 1500 litres and 750. 250 is probably, well, even 90. Let's go with 250. And I could put you down here, that would actually work. Okay. We've got pipe out in the right direction, we do. Right. Let's do that. Have the road in there. And let's asphalt these sections up for now. Right, pipes. I'm going to have underground pipes. Let's have a look. You're working okay across there, you're above it. Let's bring you up. There. Should do. Connect you in. Although, if that's the case, it would be better just to do that in one connection. I thought that was going to dip down underneath, maybe the angles aren't quite right. But that'll do. Set for that. See if that works, and hopefully the little trains can get fueled. Right. I wasn't expecting to have to deal with all that sort of stuff today, but deal with it we did. How is this looking over here? You're at 350, so do you. Really struggling this, just operating without issues. It's this one here, the scrap separation. There's no hold up in terms of workers anywhere, is there? No. We need to keep that up. I think maybe try and load it 5. Do the same. In fact, you're hardly getting any hazardous waste in now. One wasn't able to. I suppose it was. Yeah. The treatment plant was the bottleneck. It wasn't the dump. Alright, fair enough. Right here, 8 workers is fine. Aluminium, we don't need. Do we need that many workers in here? Because the waste just passes through there. We need this to be maxed out. We're even 45 workers at 36%. What's going out here? We've got steel coming in here as well. Did I just tick up from 5 to 6? I suppose it would. Yeah, we're outputting steel from here. Not from there. I'm just surprised that we've got aluminium building up in there. Right, need to pause. The shop's out of goods. And it's time for a break. But I'm caught up in this once again. Productivity 101%, 127, 129, 125, 123, 130. So vast majority of workers are well over productivity, but we're only getting 36%. This is the problem, and I do think it's this. That's the bottleneck. There's no other options to input more waste here. Right. So I do need another facility. Well, hang on. Yeah, I would need another facility. There's no way to squeeze anything else in there. And I've identified this as a potential site for it. We could put something else out here. It's just putting more strain on this junction in particular. To have another road, loads of trucks heading out. Mind you, most of the volume of traffic would be traffic that heads in here anyway. I do need to think about that. Shops out of goods, who's out of what? Electronics. Huh. Last time I checked we had tons of electronics. We've got one vehicle on the way. You, where are you? Close by. And you've got 4.7 tons. So, I don't know why that's such a problem for you in there. Could always put another truck on that route. Yeah, we've got 191 tons of electronics. Okay, anyway, it's time for a break. Thanks very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this. Please leave me a comment or rate the video. Subscribe to the channel if you enjoy the content, and I hope to see you again next time. Cheers.